Hello everyone, myself Dr. Aditya Gupta. So in this video, 5 days are left for your NEET UG entrance examination as well, and your AIMS INI CET, that's it, AIMS PG entrance. Both are of them are on 7th May. So in last 5 days, what are the 5 mistakes that you should try to avoid? In fact, I have also done them at some point or the other. It's not like I'm a perfect human being. Everyone makes mistakes, but if you can avoid them as much as possible, it will be beneficial for you in the exam. First mistake, don't do anything that decreases your confidence. So for the NEET UG aspirants, don't now is not the time to solve a full length mock paper. Your mock paper solving was already done. Now you should try to revise, your volatile concepts, physics में formulas revise कर लिए, एक बार पूरी NCERT अच्छे से पढ़ लिए, so on and so forth. Same goes for your NEET PG INI CET aspirants, that try to cover as much syllabus as possible. Try to go for your, revise your first aid, revise your 20th notebook if you have made something, revise the most volatile points that are A, frequently asked, and B, you tend to forget. IPCs, developmental milestones, Dharma mein wo that, Nina Khana images. These are things that even no matter how many times we look at it, you will forget. So last 5 days are meant to revise things which are volatile so that जाके उल्टी करके आ जाओ basically, right? Rather than trying to see how much you know by grant tests and everything. That time has gone. Last 5 days no GTs. Plus, just in case you get a lower mark, it will lower your confidence. So there's no point in giving any GTs or full mock test at this particular in the last 5 days, both for UG and PG. Then don't I see a lot of videos on YouTube or Instagram or something on those lines that they have made a schedule for you to follow. I particularly feel it will be a very it can be a guidance, like do things like this, do things like that, but you yourself know what you are. You cannot blindly follow someone and get to it. So let's say I the best example that I give basically, that I had a weak anatomy. I did anatomy on my last day. Does not mean you need to do anatomy on the last day. Rishabh had a weak biochemistry. He did biochemistry on the last day. Doesn't mean that if your biochemistry is strong, why would you do it on the last day? Same goes for your NEET UG aspirants as well, depending upon your strong subjects. But obviously, सबका strong usually bio ही होता है. But let's say physics and chemistry. So depending upon which are your weak topics, you do that on last day. उनके एक बार थोड़े बहुत notes solve कर लो, या उनके mistakes देख लो, या MCQ solve कर लो, things which are या रट लो उनके MCQs के formula on something on those lines. तो इस हिसाब से प्लान अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, डोंट गो बाय समवन एल्सेस यार. वो उसने एक ब्रांडम, उसने they have given you a broad guideline, but does not mean that you have to follow it nail by nail. Okay. Third, just don't do like this is something very specific for my NEET PG INI CET aspirants. I'll say I see a lot of lists on Instagram and Telegram about the previous year topics. Just because you know the previous year topics does not mean you don't solve the previous year question, because till the time you don't solve the previous year questions, you really won't know what to do and what not to do. So you don't need to do full length mock test or full length grant test or something on those lines. But in the revision process, don't just seek it previous year topic kya tha. You should by now hopefully should have known what the previous year actual questions also were. Because the questions also have a tendency to repeat. It's not like around 30%. So topics will cover entirely 90% of the paper, 80 to 90% of the paper. But the same repeat questions will also be 30 to 40%. So if you have not done those questions, you will it's possible that even if you know the topic really well, you will falter in the exam. So don't be, do the actual MCQs. MCQ practice towards the end, some amount of MCQ practice, 100 MCQs should be done on a daily basis. ये तो होता ही है. It doesn't need to be said, now is not the time to be new material. I know this is something, at this point of time, FOMO is real. At this point of time, you're like, कुछ और कर लूँ, अभी करके आ जाएगा एग्जाम में तो क्या होगा. नहीं, कुछ नहीं करना, जो पढ़ा हुआ है उसको रिवाइज करना. That's about it. Fifth advice I really want to give is that don't eat anything from outside actually. I have seen people fuck up their exam like just one day before they got sick on the exam day. They were not in the 100%. I mean, lucky, irrespective of whichever exam I have given, be it my UG, PG or DM, on the exam day, I was 100%. Matlab, be it mental health or physical health. So don't fuck up anything that causes your mental health to suffer, like giving an exam, that decreases your confidence, or anything that causes your physical health to suffer, like, outside food. These are the things that you can actually avoid. Obviously, you can't avoid, you get some viral infection or something. That's something you probably can't avoid, but you can avoid eating food from outside in these next 4-5 days. So don't eat anything from outside. So these are the 5 things that you should remember before going into your NEET UG or NEET PG or INI CET. 5 days, 5 mistakes to avoid, and this will help you score better in my opinion. That's it from my side today. Thank you and have a nice day.